make our records based on stuff that's happening where we live, you know. And people out there that don't like it, them.
People don't want to give rappers the courtesy of saying that they are artists and they're a step or two away from what they create. And certainly rappers played into that because it sold records.
I've been through all the stuff, whether it was dope dealings, gang banging, whatever.
We already could see it was wrestling. I mean, when you stood outside of it, you could see it was wrestling.
Come with us. We're getting ready to go over here and blow up a car.
People inside of it were, you know, bought it as, you know, this is ghetto reporting. And to some degree it was, but let's be true. Unless you're the biggest drug dealer in the world, how many stories do you have? Ice Cube was going to the University of Arizona when he's writing these rhymes.
Here's a little something about a brother like me. Never should have been let out the penitentiary.
With the exception of Easy, I don't think any of them had criminal records. I don't even think Easy had a criminal record. So it wasn't like these guys were actually living the lives that they were portraying on these records, but they did it so effectively on these records that it seemed real.
It's no different than the news. The news, we just telling it like it is, not holding back and using the explicit lyrics. It's like being an underground reporter.
But ultimately, every time I met Eazy-E, he was laughing. Eazy-E was laughing because he knew he was making paper and it was all funny to him.
Yo, we'll be right back with MTV, Eazy-E, NWA, and the whole Ruthless Posse.
Hello, for Dr. Dre, oh, yo, MTV.
When Ice Cube and NWA were making their records, their main concern was South Central Los Angeles black community. I don't think they really realized how much impact these records would have.
Yo, I'm Eazy-E.
And we're NWA.
Rolling down Compton Boulevard on Yo MTV Raps.
For the white suburban kid, you finally had a record that would scare your parents.
NWA was the best. You know, I loved it. I remember sitting in Florida at my grandma's house, lying out in the sun with my headphones on, just like playing a tape over and over again. I loved it.
I remember we went to Kentucky. It was the first day of our tour, and the audience was 80% white. You know, we were like, yo, are they in the right place, you know? But we went out there, girls were pulling the shirts off that NWA wrote on their chest, and it was wild. They went crazy.
Come on.
They do this huge tour. They go all over the place. Millions of fans making all this money for somebody. Cube comes back and he's driving a Suzuki Sidekick. His check from all that was $32,000. And he's like, wait a minute.
The tension began when we were on a tour.
Eazy-E.
Jerry Heller comes backstage and offers them contracts. And he offers each member of the group $75,000.
We looked at these checks like, whoa, you know, nobody has seen that much money at once, you know? So they were like, but you know, you guys are not officially a group yet because we had never signed anything up to that point.
Everybody else signs. Cube says, wait a minute, I want a lawyer to look at this.
A big argument happened and, you know, we were looking at him at the time like, you know, you turning your back on the group.
I caught Jerry Heller, Eazy-E handing the cookie jar, and I was willing to say, you know, I caught y'all, you know, just pay me what you owe me and we can keep on rolling. But, you know, they wanted to save face. They felt like if they paid me, they would have to pay everybody else. And, you know, so they was kind of pretty much like, what you gonna do, go solo?
He walks away with nothing. He leaves Los Angeles, comes to New York, and actually starts recording with the Bomb Squad, with Public Enemy's production team, and makes America's Most Wanted.
Hey, yo, here's what the poster read. Ice Cube is wanted dead. That's all it said.
That was some of our primary goals when we helped produce Ice Cube's first album, is to break down the barrier between East Coast and West Coast.
Ice Cube, that's one of the most incredible men who ever touched the microphone.
When I start robbing the white folks, now I'm in the pen with the soap in the rope. I said it before and I still taunt it. Every motherfucker with a color is most wanted.
He managed to become even more political. The name of the album is America's Most Wanted with 3 Ks. He is evolving.
Another homie got murdered on a shake. You know, they know the gun problem in the black community, but they'll set up 5 or 10 gun shops in the black community, selling weapons that nobody's gonna ever need. I'm waiting for them to start selling tanks.
And while Ice Cube is evolving, NWA is devolving. They're going into an even more gangster direction.
Sitting in my lap as I roll up the Compton blocks. The scoop up ran, I heard shots. 1, 2, 3. Then I say ran. Hop in the fence and with the 45 inside his hand.
Niggas for Life pushes everything to the edge. Musically, the record is absolutely amazing. In terms of the lyrics, they go from having a semblance of political meaning and content to going to some of the most misogynistic, violent lyrics ever committed to tape. That record all of a sudden is selling faster because of the controversy. It just keeps building and building and building.
Is there a positive side to gangster rap, and what is it?
Education. Just like we did the F the police. That's something people wanted to say for years. We said it, and it took it to Rodney King got beat for everybody to open their eyes.
When that Rodney King beating was caught on tape, I thought the same way that everybody else did. This is f***ed up.
I mean, it was horrendous. It was like what happened to black people in America for hundreds of years.
We were all going like this. But only because we saw it on TV. Not because we were so shocked, like, oh my God, is a cop beating a black man? Shocking. No, it wasn't that. It was like, is a cop beating a black man on TV? This isn't NYPD Blue? Like, what the hell is going on? They got these, they got these white boys. These white boys are going to jail.
The Rodney King trial had been going on, and the words you would hear on the street in L.A. was like, yo, B, if the verdict don't come down right, it's going to be some. But that was just like a buzz that I had heard from a couple of people.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Lawrence M. Powell, not Timothy E. Wynn, not guilty of the crime of assault by force and with a deadly weapon.
16 people are dead, hundreds others injured in violence gripping the nation. It comes after the acquittal of 4 white police officers accused of beating a black motorist.
There's different groups here, but you see them moving in closer. They have taken over, they are breaking windows. What you're looking at. This is a guard track.
We definitely knew there was a lot of tension down here, and we tried to explain it to people, but nobody wanted to listen.
The records were telling you that was crazy out there. They weren't exaggerating as much as we thought. Because the explosion of anger, the unemployment, just the festering frustration that you find on all those records, it all communicates that sense of chaos and isolation that really came up in the riots in '92.
The way this LAPD was operating pre this situation, they needed to get killed because they definitely were savage and they were worse than any street gang in Los Angeles.